information. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting of the Hubbardston Cemetery Commission will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via Zoom. In the event that they were unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website a comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting.
Okay. Hello, sorry for the big delay, but it's
5% of population. So there's enough
4:38, and did I just lose this? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can see you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll open the meeting at 4:38. Sorry for the delay. I'm hoping I'll stay on. I don't even know if you can see me because
I can see you.
my picture's all fuzzy. I can
You're
see
in the
everybody
kitchen.
else. As long as you can hear me. As long as you can hear me. Okay. Raven and I did go to the Pine Grove Cemetery last Wednesday. We met up. We checked things out. The ground is still frozen, so we can't do anything with putting that one fence post back in. But we did look over everything that was there, and it doesn't seem like it's everything looks good to keep going forward. I priced out 31 bolts, carriage bolts to be galvanized with nuts and washers to pick those up. And let's see, the paint, if I do.
How much are the bolts?
Oh, I didn't price them out. I got, we need 31 of them. They're 5/16.
Oh, okay.
Okay, by 8-inch long. They'll have to be cut. Carriage bolts are $1.89 each times 31. The nuts are 21 cents each times 31. And 31 washes are at 46 cents each by 1.5 inches in diameter to hold the chain.
You said 36 cents?
46, Martha.
46?
Yeah. I priced out paintbrushes at $40 for all that we need. I apologize. I was supposed to get down to DPW today, but I blew a transmission in the Jeep. So I did not get down there, but I did price out the paint if we do need to change it. It's $46 a gallon times 4.
Do you have paint?
No.
No.
Yeah, I have 4 gallons down to DPW, but I'm gonna double check to make sure that I'm not talking above my brains, that it's, I thought it was suitable for everything. I want to make sure. If it's not, it's $46 a gallon. We have the money to cover all that. Okay.
Plus the chain?
The chain is $630, 400 feet. It's 1/4 inch galvanized grade 30. It's not black, it's galvanized. Now, it was discussed with Raven and I as we were down there that once the frost goes away, because we couldn't even pick up that one post because it was still frost, still iced into the ground. The rest of the posts, we can tweak them so that they'll be nice and straight when the time comes and frost is gone. So the way the weather's been, if it continues this way, I would think by May, if it's not too muddy, we might be able to get down there. But then again, it depends on the ground situation, because as I said in the last meeting, it does get muddy down there, and the water table stays pretty high. So we're just gonna have to stay in touch and see what we can do. And once we get that done, then we can have Chad get his group together of putting together a date to let us know. Isn't that what we talked about, Raven?
That sounds good. That's about what we saw. Everything we'll once he has his date, we'll get everything stood up before then.
Right.
We'll take care of that.
Correct.
And then it's just a matter of them painting. And is that going to be like a paint a coat, come back in a week, paint a second coat kind of thing?
It could be. We'll see how good it goes on. I mean, if it needs a second coat, we'll paint a second coat.
Yeah, but just throwing out there, there's a possibility that it might have to be like a second day for a second coat, and then the chain can't really go up until the paint's dry.
Correct. Correct.
So it might be up to 3 different days, because that's just the physical nature of the problem.
Right. All right. I was planning between 3 to 4 days for doing everything, because all the posts need to be scraped first to get the crap off.
That's true. Are you going to have we're going to have the Boy Scouts scrape, because they can certainly do that.
Right.
That's easy. That's not that requires no heavy lifting to just
just
the scraper.
physical.
It's just a pain in the ass.
Right.
Okay, so it might be.
It could be 5 days that this from start to finish. I think
Yeah.
we should plan on 5. If it goes 4, then it goes 4.
Probably
do
not
that.
consecutive.
Well, I wasn't thinking of a second coat, but that's a good thing. If we're painting one coat and it needs another one, hey, let's give it to it.
Yeah, I don't know if it will. We have to. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
we'll
we have to see.
one coat and let it dry and take a look at it and
Right.
see what it is.
Okay. Yep, I agree.
Okay, Chad, did you try to say something? I'm sorry, we ran over you.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's what we wanted to do and what we wanted to report. So everything looks good. We shouldn't have to replace any posts. Our tombstone repairman came with us and take a look at it and said there's rebar through all those, and even if there's a bit of crack, that's not going anywhere. That's a solid thing. It just needs to be stood up again. So they're quite rebarred. So that's good.
Right.
So was there anything else that
Yeah, Raven, you had a question about reading parts of the handbook. Is it supposed to be Chad or you to read the handbook?
Paul sent me the online of the project handbook, and I did read it. Last week there was some I think the scout leader said something about how we should read a section of it. I wasn't sure what to read, so I sort of looked for the whole thing and couldn't quite figure out what was aimed at the outside parties and what was not. But I mean, I didn't see anything that was terribly relevant, but I did look it over.
Yeah.
Is So the question is there a specific part of that that we're supposed to read, or is it just a matter of look it over and see if anything jumps out? Because nothing did.
Yeah, I believe that is.
It was page 30 and 31 that you needed to read.
30 and 31.
Yep.
All right, I've actually got it up here. So let me just check on that.
You can do two things at once.
I can.
Wow.
I've been working. I've been having to work in 2 classes on Zoom for 8 months
Walking chew
here.
gum.
No,
35 minutes to get
I
mine
am.
open.
Well, so what is the budget? The whole budget?
The full. You mean what we are paying? What we as the cemetery commission are paying for?
Yeah.
Marcia, can you give us a number of an added up number of what Paul just rattled off to you?
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, we're up to about $895, give or take.
$895. There you go. You got it. You got a number to stick in.
Yeah, round it up to 900 and call it that.
All
Thank
right,
you.
900. 900 in case somebody wants to get a coffee. I don't know.
Is there anything else that we need to furnish
tax.
to you, Chad?
Probably ought to add in 10% for contingencies.
Well, we gotta add a food allowance in that too. We have to provide food.
Oh, okay, well, that's a big
Do we?
contingency with us, with a
Excuse me?
pack of Boy Scouts.
We
Are,
can,
are we okay? Are we providing food? Because I didn't know about that. Are we providing food for the scouts?
Yeah, that's kind of a common practice whether we have inmates, the volunteers or regular volunteers or scouts. It's been the courtesy of whoever uses the group or has a group help them that we furnish food. So it'll be probably pizza, but
Pizza
5 days
pallets.
in a row.
Yeah,
we can also do that as well, as parents of Chad and his project. I know
oh, yes, he's got a cooking
that,
project.
I mean, we're more than happy to take care of that.
Something with gluten-free.
So, we-
Yes, he has a gluten.
Yeah, we can do, that would be fine, but we really should, have one thing that we, if nothing else, to, provide food for you, the parents and the kids and,
Okay,
okay,
we'll work with you, whatever you need us to do.
okay. So we'll add, what, Marcia?
Plus food. Well, if you're talking about 5 days, how many boys are there?
Do you have a
Chad?
number you were thinking between parents and the other scouts?
I probably 8 to 10 people, but I only have like a couple people on my phone that I can only call. I don't have that much numbers for
So
scouts.
there'll probably be
Okay.
about 10 people, I would say, at each meeting, like depending on how spaced out they are.
Right. Yeah, some might be able to show up one day and not others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have
Okay,
that.
so.
Takes a
the
couple
maximum,
weekends or whatever it needs to.
10 people
So-
each day, so that's 50 people.
Probably 15 with parents, Marcia.
Each day?
No, does that include parents, Cindy?
That might be high. I mean, maybe 10, I would say 10 people a day. So
10 a day, including parents?
I would think so.
Okay, that's fine. Sure. I don't want to chip anybody. Listen, I've given up sandwiches before. Not a problem. So 10 people. Roughly would be about $200, Marcia,
Say 250.
$250.
Okay,
And
so would like
so-
it, like altogether, like $1,200. 12, you know,
okay, yep. We do need to vote on that, correct?
any money, yes.
Yes. So, Raven,
Looking for a motion?
looking for a motion.
Okay, I move that,
$1,200.
yes, I move that we earmark this money for everything that we just talked about, all yeah,
Okay.
food
The
and
whole, you
supplies
want
to,
the whole list in your motion.
yes, the whole
Okay.
list of my motion,
Okay,
So-
nuts, bolts, chains, food.
nuts, bolts, chains, food,
Okay,
paint,
all right.
etc.
For not to exceed $1,200?
Yep.
Yes, that sounds good.
Pam, is that a second?
Yes, it is, my dear.
Okay. You look lovely today, by the way.
I'm wearing my green, I'm wearing my,
She's got no clothes
flannel
on,
jammies.
Paul.
Hey.
Okay, so do you need anything else from us, Chad?
The safety instructions that we should know ahead of time.
Okay, so since all you're going to be doing is we're going to take care of all the uprighting first, and we're going to do that so that nothing falls on anybody. So the only things that you're going to be in charge of is scraping, which is a very safe activity, painting, which is a very safe activity, and then helping us put up the chain. So none of this requires any issues with you won't have to push around anything heavy. So there shouldn't be any real need for safety concerns there. We did talk about, I talked to our tombstone guy, and we did talk about towards the end of whatever period that you've got, having he and I were on the conservation team out there, having us come out and with some gravel and upright some tombstones while you guys are there, so that the scouts will get a chance to see what it is that we do with the conservation team, which I think would be pretty cool. However, that you'll be standing back from that. You will not be in there with crowbars with us. That's something that we'll do, because we're not at this time prepared to take on a herd of scouts helping to upright tombstones. So I don't think there would be any safety concerns. I just went over page 30 and 31. There's not the only official permissions that are needed is us on the committee saying yes, you can do it, because we have full right to say what goes on in those graveyards, and we say yes, you can do it. So if you'd like written permission, I'm sure Paul can put it together, but that's all good. I didn't see anything else. I saw the safety concerns. I don't really think there are any safety concerns as long as nobody puts paint in their mouth. Well, actually, Paul, one
No.
thought. Is
The
that
road.
paint that's being scraped, is that likely to be lead paint or no?
That would be a good question. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, all right.
yeah, well,
Maybe
all the
between now and
boys
then
will
we
be
need to
wearing
find that
masks,
out.
right?
Well,
Yep.
it depends. If it's just, if it's not lead paint, then it really doesn't matter. You know, it's not a big deal. We should find out between now and then. That's something I think the cemetery commission can do.
Yeah, well, the boys will be wearing masks.
Yeah, you'll be wearing masks anyway. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if they don't
Wearing
take
masks.
off their masks to eat the paint.
Yeah, and rubber gloves, masks and rubber gloves, and you should be fine. There we go. Masks and rubber gloves, and you should be fine. I mean, I've scraped lead paint. As long as you're wearing a mask and got rubber gloves on, you're fine.
And if everybody's orderly, there shouldn't be any problems. I expect that they will. They're scouts. They
Yeah.
follow
No
directions
spring
real
break
well.
behavior, no.
So very little problem with safety. I think we'll be fine. Is there anything else that you want us to do?
Well, will a vote of the committee and a copy of the minutes showing the vote be sufficient permissions for you, Chad?
I also need to make sure that nobody's like hitting the gravestone, like make sure that everyone's being safe.
No one should be near them. They're far enough away from that fence line. So
And I mean,
we'll make sure that nobody should be running around. Nobody should be going down that way. Everybody should be working in one shape or form or another.
And if I see people trying to sit on gravestones or anything, I will be on them like white on rice. So I mean, that's that's not a problem. That's our responsibility to keep people away from that and to tell them how close they can come and where they can be, and we will do that. So nobody is going to be messing with the gravestones on our watch.
Yeah. And as far as permission, a copy of the minutes of today's vote that we're voting to do this, that should be sufficient for you, that you can put in your paperwork, Chad?
Yeah, about the granite posts, do I have to clean them?
Yes, we have a solution. Raven actually has it with his conservation committee for doing stones. Most
that
of
won't
that
take
that we
paint
saw
off.
on there should come off relatively easy.
Yeah, that won't take paint off though. That's not going to take paint. I mean, we need
Oh,
to.
we're not stripping the
scrape
paint off. We're just gonna scrape the looseness off.
Yeah,
The
just
moss.
yeah. That just is done with scrapers. Paul, do we have scrapers?
I have them on my list combined
Okay.
with the paintbrushes.
Already got it with the paintbrushes, right? So
Okay. Well, that's an additional expense.
That was priced with the paintbrushes for $40.
Yeah, that was priced with the paintbrushes. So we're all good there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how you're going to clean them is you're just going to scrape. That's all. And it's we can show you how it's done when you get there on the first day. It's super easy. If you've never scraped paint, it's super easy. And we will give specific. We'll give you standards by which this is okay. This is you've done enough, and this is not enough. We will let you know. We will make that very clear. And not all of it needs to come off. Just like we'll like show you do one side and show you and say make it look like this, and we're good. So that should be fine. And whether we need one coat of paint or two, which would be an extra day, we won't know until we get a coat of paint on and we let it dry and we take a look at it and we see if it looks transparent or not.
Right. Right.
People should wear clothing they can get paint on, shoes they can get paint on. It happens.
Yeah.
So that's up to you, Chad, to let people know that they should wear old clothes, that they don't mind, getting spattered.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'll do that.
Yep. Is that everything? Is there anything else that you need?
I think that's it.
All right.
Okay,
Then
you need an official vote then to authorize the project.
All right. I
Sure.
move to authorize this project.
In its entirety.
Its entirety, everything that we have gone over.
I
Okay.
second the motion.
All right, done.
So
We-
because Chad Scoutmaster's not on with us, Scott Carrigan.
Right.
So Chad has to take all the information that you guys just provided him and has to type it up and put it into his proposal. And then he has to take it to the Boy Scout Council and then get permission from, I think the signatures from you have to happen first and then council, but Scott needs to make sure that everything looks good and then send it to the Boy Scout Council. And once they approve it, then we can start picking days once the
Okay.
ground is thawed.
Okay,
Okay.
Paul, how
So
do we?
when I put together the minutes, that will include all of the materials that we discussed, plus, all of the conditions and the authorizations. So will just a copy of the minutes suffice for you, Chad, or do you want a separate copy of the materials?
That should be fine.
Pardon?
Okay, and then
The
we
list
got,
of minutes should be probably fine.
okay,
And we took
Okay, well,
notes.
yeah, and
too.
then how many signatures do you want?
It's on the
Chairman?
proposal.
Yeah.
Chairman?
Paul, we're probably gonna need you, me, and Pam. How do you want to handle signatures? That's probably a drive around Hubbardston in a car.
yeah, I can do that.
Okay, you can do
Okay.
that. All right, then what you want to do is you want to get the paper to Paul, and Paul will drive it to us, and then he'll get it back to you.
I'll meet Paul downtown like I usually do.
Yeah, in our secret spot.
Oh, now it comes out, yeah. Okay, well, Paul, if I emailed, did you get the last minutes?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
if I emailed these minutes to you,
Yep. That'll
yeah,
be
then you
yep,
can tool around with it.
with that. Plus, I believe on what, 30 and 31, there's something that we need to sign. Is that correct?
On the pages?
Yeah, right, Chad?
Yeah.
I think that we've lost it so many, the internet so many times. It was all ready to be looking at two different screens with the computers, and I don't have that one in front of us.
Well, that's all right.
But I know that you needed to read it. It just basically states the responsibilities of the beneficiaries, which is you guys. And then, you know, just to know what his project is about. As far as sending you the entire workbook, it was just basically to show you all
Yeah,
the stuff that he has to have.
No, that's a lot of paper.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
No, no,
Chad's gonna be printing that out and having it all done.
for himself.
Yes, and then he will come to you or whatever, once Scott looks at it and says it's fine, then it requires the signatures. It needs to be just exactly how you guys want it and worded, very detailed, so.
Okay,
I think with the information that you guys gave about all the prices, then he'll be able to work with all that.
okay.
Yeah, okay,
then the
for
minutes.
prices, I don't have prices for the scrapers and the brushes.
That I gave
The
those to.
paintbrushes are $40 with the scrapers included, they said.
Yeah,
And then the nuts are how much?
$21.
No.
21 cents.
And then the washers,
Okay, wait a minute, scrapers and brushes together are what?
$40.
Okay, how many scrapers and brushes, do we know?
Probably 12 of each, if that's what my mind remembers. It's either 8 scrapers and the rest of paintbrushes, which would be a dozen and a half.
So 18 brushes and 12 and 8 scrapers?
Yeah.
Okay, all for $40.
Yep.
Okay. And then there was a wash, the moss wash.
Well, Raven.
The
Go
moss
ahead,
wash
David.
is already owned. I mean, it's.
Oh, so
sitting
you're
in my
gonna donate
basement.
that?
Well, no, you guys paid for it already last year. It's just sitting in my basement.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you'll donate it. It's not a cost to the, it's
It
not an
belongs to the
expense.
cemetery commission, so yeah.
Okay, all right, I got it.
So you need that all broke down, right, Chad? All right, that'll be in the minutes, right, Marcia?
What, all of this stuff? Yeah,
And yeah, so it'll
Yeah.
list that the paintbrushes are 40.
yeah, bolts,
and
nuts,
scrapers. So that'll
washers,
be all broke
paint,
down, Chad. So I can just email that
scrapers,
to you when I get it.
brushes, chain, food.
And
Food is not, no, food is not, won't be in the estimate. Not food.
and we can certainly, like I said, we can contribute to that as well, like, you know, put in $200 or whatever, depending on how many people come. If it's, looks like it's a little bit more or less.
Okay. Okay, so when Marcia writes this up and emails it to me, I can email it to Chad, and that'll get him started to
Or
get his
Chad, give me
paperwork.
your, yeah, Okay, I'll send it to you then. And you look it over, and if it's okay, then send it to Chad.
Right,
Okay.
but I'll get it signed before it goes to Chad. Right?
It's up to you.
That's what you're looking at. That's like our permission, even though we're on it, but yeah, we'll sign it. Okay,
I think that the actual proposal itself has to be completed. So any of the information that you're gonna provide with the minutes, Chad's gonna punch that into all the, into the workbook itself.
right,
And then once it's printed, then I believe it needs the signatures on that actual paper.
right,
So if we have to drive around town or whatever to get those
okay, we can.
specific permissions, but anything that you could put on the minutes would be wonderful.
Okay,
And maybe that could be, we could staple that to the workbook proposal, and maybe that would actually help count too.
okay. All right,
You got all your
Good.
questions answered, right?
Okay, so now I'm getting confused. Do you want the copy of the minutes signed? Or just wait until Chad puts it through into his workbook to get it signed?
If it's whatever is easier for you.
Well, one, signing it once would be good.
Okay, then how about, let's wait until, if you could just maybe at least send the minutes to Paul, and then Paul can forward it to Chad. His email is attached to the Zoom link anyway. But
right,
then we can put in the information into the workbook. Once we print it and have Scott look at it, then we will bring it to you guys to have you sign it.
okay,
Does that make sense?
sure,
Okay,
okay. I'll hunt them down and get signatures.
and I know where you live. It's not that far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Pam's the only one you gotta call ahead to make sure she's decent.
Oh, oh, is she the one? Is she the one in pajamas?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm the one in the green flannel pajamas.
Hey, good for you.
okay. Just leave it on the front steps. Okay, so if everything is all settled and nobody has anything else to add or discuss in that, we can adjourn this meeting, and do feel free to, if you do have questions, to get in touch with us. And we can, if need to, we can do another Zoom.
Okay, Paul,
Yeah.
before we, on a totally different topic, before we adjourn meeting, real
Okay,
quick.
wait a minute.
Do we need to vote, on other issues, does the cemetery commission need to vote?
Yeah, we gotta open
on-
up another meeting.
On getting the load of crushed stone? Do we need to vote
Yeah,
on that?
well, that's a separate issue, so we gotta open up a next meeting. We'll close this one, so you can vote to adjourn. Separate
Okay,
issues.
all right, I move to adjourn.
Okay. Second,
Seconded,
all right.
third,
You
fourth.
guys are
Thanks, Joe.
welcome to stay, but I have to open up another meeting.
Thanks,
Okay,
Joe.
this will be
Bye, Chad.
Bye.
March
Chad.
22nd at 5:10. Let's open up a meeting to discuss where we left off last week.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
And relatively simple. It was, I got a price on stone from Graves.
Yay.
Okay, what they do is it's sold by the ton.
Okay,
So let's see, where is it? I just wrote it down. All right, three yards is approximately 4 ton, which is approximately $60 picked up. I talked to Travis, and when we want it and where we want to put it, he'll make arrangements, as long as I tell him ahead of time, to go there and get it. They have an account there. So what we will be responsible for is to reimburse or pay for it.
well, yeah.
They have the tax number and all that happy stuff.
Okay,
So, like she said, it's approximately $60 to be picked up, give or take a little. You know, sometimes because the truck gets weighed in and then it gets weighed on the way out, and that's how
For
you
what
get
ton?
charged. For four, well, approximately 4 ton. It could be, 3 7/8. It could be 4.2. You know, they
4
don't measure.
tons.
Yeah, they don't measure. Yeah, 4 tons.
Okay,
It's
for
actually,
$60.
yes, for the crushed stone, no bigger than 1 inch.
Okay, where are we putting it?
Well, that's what we need to discuss. I mean, this is for rural Glen. And right now it's very mushy down there. And I don't know how soon you wanted to get it. So we'll have
Okay,
to
does
keep
it
our eye-
have to be, does it have to be stored on, at one of the cemeteries?
Yes,
It does. Okay. All right. It needs to be stored at one of the cemeteries. All right. Can we put it, is there, what are our options? I mean,
we can put it near we can put it in Brookside near the garage. Things stay,
okay, sounds good.
things seem to stay safe. Down there, we haven't had any problems.
Sounds like a plan. And I mean, they're adjacent, so it won't be a big deal to go down there with buckets and run something to rural Glen. It can be for rural Glen, even if it's technically.
Well, like I said, I was thinking about rural Glen. There's what do we want to do? Dump it in the dump it in the open tomb down there.
No, I don't think so.
And we can
We'll
lock the
not
door.
put it in the crypt. Oh God,
The
no.
crypt, yeah,
All right.
exactly.
So let's put it down near the shed in Brookside, near the garage in Brookside, and I'd like to see that happen like as soon as it's possible.
Okay.
So I vote that we arrange to get $60 worth of crushed stone and arrange for Travis to go and pick it up.
Okay, we'll
I
put a
move.
little leeway in there because I mean, if they pick up and it comes out to be 4.5 ton, of course it's not going to be $60. So
Okay, so like up
It-
to $60 worth. Is $60 our top?
no, we'll do $80 in case they get more than,
Okay,
guys get credit, could be less.
Yeah,
So
not to exceed.
not to
not
exceed
to exceed
$80.
$80. Sounds good.
Not to exceed what?
$80.
Not to exceed $80. Yes.
So they don't, they measure by how many scoops, whatever loader they're using. So,
Right.
I know how they load things. Sometimes you get cheated and sometimes you make out, but this
You
gets
still with
weighed.
us, Pam?
I'm
Yes,
sorry?
I'm still with you.
Okay. All right, gonna vote?
Yes.
All in
Okay,
second
favor? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, yeah, let's get this because as soon as we can actually physically do it, I want to get in there and start writing tombstones.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
look out for the mud.
I know we are quite well aware of the mud and we're not going to make a huge mess, but we can't do anything right now anyway because the ground's still frozen.
Hmm.
So, all right, then I think that's our only imminent business at the moment.
Signs?
I've got that's going to be worked on this coming month. We need to have more non-freezing weather outside, but that'll be worked on this coming month. Hopefully it'll get done by the end of April. Is there anything else? No burial issues, no other problems?
Not yet.
Okay, then I'm going to move to adjourn this meeting.